Hello, welcome to our channel. Welcome to Xuemo community, and Xuemo is a contemporary Chinese writer who has written over 80 titles with over 200 editions and have been translated into 28 languages. And today I will share Xuemo's works one by one. First, the first book I want to share is Eternal Love, Eternal Light. A testament to faith, hope, and redemption. Eternal Love is a deeply moving novel about end-of-life companionship. Through 34 letters exchanged, it recreates the heartfelt dialogues between a tongue cancer patient, Yato, and her mentor, Guru Xue. In the form of letters and diaries, she confides in him, revealing her struggles and moments of awakening as she faces the greatest challenge of her life. Under Guru Xue's compassionate care and spiritual guidance, she courageously confronts her illness, refuses to surrender to fear and despair, and ultimately finds self-redemption. And the next book I'd like to introduce is Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart. This book is also available on Amazon, and you can search for Xuemo, Xuemo, Xuemo for this book. The book name is Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart. And if you want to explore more of Xuemo's books, you can go to online store shop.xuemo.com. And Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart is the topic is Master Your Mind, Master Your Destiny. And this book is a wisdom guide that focuses on the mind and the nature of the mind, teaching modern individuals how to transform from slaves of the external world into masters of their own minds. Xuemo regards cultivating spiritual autonomy as the most important practice in life and distills the traditional Mahamudra yoga into a form of mindful yoga that is easily understood by contemporary readers. So reclaim the throne of your heart. And who is Xuemo? Xuemo was born in 1963 as Chen Kaihong, is a renowned writer from Gansu, China, where I'm in Xuemo's hometown now. He has written over 80 books, published in more than 200 editions, with translations available in over 20 languages, including English, French, German, Korean, Russian, and Spanish. Xuemo is one of China's most influential contemporary writers. His audiobook, Buddha's Wisdom, Xuemo integrates the Diamond Sutra on the Himalaya platform, has been played over 35 million times and remains a top-ranking program. His series, What's on Lao's Mind, Xuemo integrates Dao De Jing, has sold nearly 1 million copies in China. Since 2019, his works have been featured in independent booths at major international book fairs and film festivals in Germany, London, the United States, and across Asia. In 2022, he topped the International Media Spotlight list at the Frankfurt Book Fair, drawing more attention than the guest of honor, Spain. This achievement was hailed as one of the most remarkable and memorable events of Frankfurt Book Fair 2022. Notably, more than 10 of his works have been translated by Howard Goldblatt and Sylvia Li Chunlin, the distinguished translators of Nobel Prize-winning literature. Research centers devoted to his work have been established at Ningbo University and Central South University. Xuemo's novel Into the Desert won the 2022 Excellent Translation Award by China International Communications Group, CICG. The 2024 NYC Big Book Award for Women's Fiction and the 2024 Independent Press Award for Literary Fiction. His novel Curses of the Kingdom of Xixia won the 2024 NYC Big Book Award for the World Literature. The novel Wild Fox Rage won the 2024 International Impact Book Award and the 2025 NYC Big Book Award, and was honored with the 2025 International Book Awards. He has been nominated 3 times for the Modern Literature Prize and has won the Dunhuang Literature and Art Award 6 consecutive times. The e-book editions of Desert Rights, Desert Hunters, White Path, Love Letters from the Goddess, and Eternal Love have repeatedly ranked #1 on Amazon's bestseller list. Hi, I see so many old friends here. Welcome. Thank you for your time. Hello. Yes, hello and welcome. Hello, welcome. Thank you for your time, and please share our channel to more of your friends. Okay, this book is translated by Dr. Kumar, Yukteswar Kumar. So, who is Dr. Yukteswar Kumar, the translator? He is a senior academic and course director at the University of Bath, United Kingdom. His teaching and research career spans several countries, including India, China, and the UK, reflecting his broad international engagement and expertise. Dr. Kumar served as the first Asian deputy mayor of the city of Bath, marking a significant contribution to civic life and the community leadership. A distinguished scholar and accomplished translator, he has translated a number of Chinese literary works into English, Hindi, and Bengali, contributing to cross-cultural understanding and academic exchange. So today I will share the preface from the book, What is a Heart? I hope you will be interested in this book through because of my sharing. So what is a heart? Throughout the ages, sages and masters have written volumes upon volumes about the heart. Yet for many in this era, the heart remains merely a word. I have spoken extensively on the subject. The heart I speak of here is not the physical organ, nor the chaotic mind, nor the complex constructs of Yogasara philosophy. Rather, it is the core of our subjectivity, our inner autonomy. Only a heart that is self-governing truly belongs to us. The heart is of 2 kinds, the true heart and the false heart. The heart that can act with autonomy is the true heart. The heart that cannot is called the false heart. When the tides of the times come surging in, many cannot remain centered. Their hearts fluctuate with the value systems of the age, swayed by prevailing trends and collective preferences. In Luminous Mahamudra, the essence of mind, training, I once wrote, "You may open your eyes wide and behold the smoke and slaughter blanketing the world. You may turn on the television and see the mangled bodies of children torn by terror and violence. You may look around and question the souls who have lost their spiritual sanctuaries. You may quiet your breath and search for the greed that scorches your soul. Indeed, you, I, and all of us need a breeze of coolness, the smile of a wise one, a trace of a serene transcendence, a gentle tolerance wrapped in humility. When I speak of letting the heart belong to yourself, I mean cultivating a truly autonomous heart. I spent 20 years in retreat practicing luminous Mahamudra teaching of the Shampa Kaku lineage before I could say that I truly had a clear, cool heart that belonged to myself. This book shares some of the insights I gained along the spiritual journey. For those who do not have the opportunity or time to enter retreat, this book offers a reference, a spark of inspiration, a glimpse into another path of awakening. Although the perspectives in this book originate from religious wisdom, they transcend religion for those tormented by inner afflictions in the modern world. Its teachings can offer genuine relief. Among my students have been individuals with terminal illness, depression, those in despair, those struck by severe life blows, and those who faced countless hardships. After reading my works, many found solace from suffering. Some even attained awakening, saw their true nature, and entered the path of Mahamudra, becoming individuals with truly self-governing hearts. The reason I named this series the Spiritual Yoga series is that my writings embody the spirit of self-mastery. If I were a computer running a program of wisdom, and you were another computer seeking such a program, then my words would serve as the data cable between us. Through this transfer, something essential is passed on, and that is why many readers, by simply reading my books, have found a release from suffering. In Chinese history, there have been many who attained realization simply by chanting scriptures. The principle is the same. One great master once said, "For one who has realized emptiness, the words that flow from his realization are no different from the Dharma body of the Buddha giving teachings." This is known as the wisdom Dhammakaya manifesting in the form of words. For those with karmic affinity, I also encourage the further study of Shampakaku Mahamudra Yoga, which has been praised as pure as gold. When I first encountered it 20 years ago, I was astounded by its profundity. After 2 decades of disciplined cultivation, I realized that what I had initially received was only the key to a great treasure trove. Without those 20 years of practice, the key would have remained just a key. But with those years, I have now entered the vault and seen its priceless treasures. This is a form of wisdom and science deeply needed by today's world and humanity. Hello, if you're new here, please subscribe to our channel and share. I am reading the preface of the book, Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart. And this book is about master your mind and master your destiny. I have made a vow to share this treasure with the world to benefit as many people as possible. Therefore, even for those with a karmic connection, simply reading a book grounded in right view and wisdom can bring freedom from suffering and the attainment of joy. And for those who do not necessarily follow any religion, the correct view and wisdom conveyed in this book remain equally vital. A heart nourished with deeper insight will, without doubt, grow stronger. For general yoga practitioners, the right view presented here will serve as a powerful aid in their practice. And for any cultivation without right view can never reach true fulfillment. Okay. The next chapter I want to share is one taste, the wisdom that knows no separation between self and other. Melt everything in the world into your true heart, like a piece of ice dissolving into water until ice and water are one. Do not think of the world as separate from yourself. Do not divide the two at all times. Maintain a steady heart, unaffected by the external environment. Always remember that everything in this world is like a dream. Nothing is eternal. There is no need for arrogance in having, nor for despair in losing or not having. Keep this realization close, resting always in your true heart. Of course, when we say not to separate the world from yourself, it doesn't mean you should give everything away. Rather, it means releasing the fixation on comparison and letting go of the overwhelming self. Understand that both the world and I are illusory and impermanent. Whether desired or not, everything will pass and become a memory. In essence, each of us is simply an actor in the grand play of life. Hi, so many new friends here. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for your support. I'm sharing the book about master your mind and master your destiny. So master your mind is so important if you are on the way to your to inner world, and also it is very important to achieve the success, because Steve Jobs, he also benefit from the Zen and meditation. So let's continue. Reclaim the throne of your heart by Xuemo. Xuemo is Xuemo. It's available on Amazon. So when you remain connected to your true heart in walking, living, sitting, or lying down, you will come to see that the world is you, you are the world, the Buddha is you, and you are the Buddha. In this state, all discrimination dissolves, and you no longer treat people differently based on personal preferences. Much like the sun, which shines on everything without distinction, it does not shine more on the wise nor less on the foolish. You no longer view yourself as the protagonist in the drama of life, nor will you derive various troubles from this perception. At this stage, you have truly attained the state of responding joyfully to all circumstances, free from worry. So what does it mean to follow the flow of things, happy and carefree? When drinking tea, it means fully experiencing the soft, silky warmth and the subtle fragrance that quietly unfolds. When walking, it means attentively listening to the sounds around you. Cars, people, the cheerful chirping of nearby birds, and even the small stone rolling along the path. When it rains, it's about watching the crystal clear droplets, listening to them splash on cement, leaves, windowsills, and umbrellas. Without distraction, you immerse yourself in every minute and every second, finding yourself childlike once more, able to find joy in even a small stone. The present moment passes quickly, with the next bringing new delights. Thus, you are not attached to holding on to anything that brings happiness, but instead focus joyfully on experiencing each moment. This is following the flow of things, happy and carefree. At this stage, you will perceive that the mind is empty, and the external world is also empty. Thoughts may still arise, but they are simply the wondrous functions of the true mind. Everything you feel, think, and do flows from this true mind's profound function. These are no longer the delusions of ordinary perception. As expressed in the Heart Sutra, form is not different from emptiness. Emptiness is not different from form. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form, and the same applies to feeling, thought, action, and consciousness. When you realize this, you enter the realm of one-taste yoga and come to a deep understanding of unconditional benevolence and great compassion born of oneness. Consider an intuitive example. If someone strikes a dog, though you are not the one being hit, you still feel the pain. This is a state of one state. I and he belong to the same essence, and this is entering the true one-state yoga, one-taste yoga. 一味瑜伽, one-taste yoga. So at this point, your heart knows no duality. There is no distinction between self and other, good and bad, beauty and ugliness, or samsara and the nirvana. With a pure mind, everything appears in a state of purity. This is what is meant by a pure mind leads to a pure Buddha land. Your mind will expand immensely like the sky, the ocean, and even the vastness of the universe, capable of holding the Dharma realm, the sun, the moon, and the stars within it. This is both a view and a profound feeling, a mind of great breadth. There is a story about Milarepa. When he was alive, a renowned Geshe grew envious of him, fearing that Milarepa's rising fame would threaten his standing. The Geshe persuaded a woman he desired to offer poisoned wine to Milarepa, promising her fine jewelry in return. By this time, Milarepa had already attained Buddhahood and was aware of everyone's thoughts. When the woman approached with the poisoned wine, he told her, "If I drink this now, you will not receive the jewelry. Go and obtain it first, then I will drink the wine." When she returned with the poisoned wine, he fulfilled his promise and drank it. In the last moments of his life, he even accepted the Geshe who sought to poison him as his disciple. Milarepa's death was a conscious manifestation of boundless tolerance and compassion. It echoes the spirit of the Buddha's act of cutting flesh to feed the ego a profound expression of ultimate selflessness and compassion. The so-called tolerance means that regardless of whether others act with kindness or hatred, or even if they harm you, you do not become fixated on it. In your heart, there is no separation between you and them. It is like a mother's love for her child. Even if she knows he awaits her passing to inherit her wealth, she still cares for him as always, seeing him as an extension of her own life. However, when you have only recently realized your true nature, it is wise to distance yourself from sources of mental pollution. Rely on the light of wisdom to cleanse your mind of impurities, including vexatious habits and harmful influences. At this stage, build a wall of precepts around yourself, such as observing retreats, chanting mantras, and remaining constantly alert. Do not let yourself be swayed by external conditions, and do not allow harmful views or influences to extinguish the candle of enlightenment within your heart. Why do we repeatedly emphasize the horror of bad friends? Because some people will intentionally or unintentionally instill some incorrect concepts and bad ideas in you, which will make you feel painful and hinder your meditational practice. Those who increase your greed, hatred, and ignorance are called bad friends. Bad friends are not unlucky people in the secular view. Sometimes the unlucky people considered by the secular world may be the real good friends. Welcome to our channel. Thank you for your time. So what I am sharing today is Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart by Xuemo. So for example, if someone says to you, people have to gamble when they live. If you make much money, you can live in a high-rise building and have beautiful women. When this person's words arouse your greed and make you greedy, you want to make tens of millions after earning millions. This person is your bad friend because he increases your greed. For instance, if someone tells you there is a person who is particularly unpleasant, always speaking poorly of you in my presence, and you develop hatred for this someone based on these words, that person is a harmful friend, as they are fostering your hatred. Or if someone says to you, practicing is useless, to attain liberation and go to heaven after death, you must stand on one foot against the wall all day, like a dog revealing itself. And if you then abandon Mahamudra to stand there senselessly all day, they are a harmful friend because they are increasing your ignorance. However, when you truly attain spiritual maturity, you will no longer distinguish between harmful and helpful friends, as the words and actions of others will no longer disturb your heart, and your mind will be free from duality. At that stage, your life will reach a state of great perfection. The so-called great perfection means that upon understanding original enlightenment, the present moment is complete. I am the Buddha, free from worry and sorrow, awakened in the present, fully realized in the present. Hello, if you're new here, please subscribe to our channel. This is a space for self-growth, inner peace, and human warmth found in the works by the Chinese writer Mr. Xuemo. So welcome to our channel. Okay, let's continue sharing the book, Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart. Acting focus with joy is also a form of spiritual practice. Be at peace in walking, in staying, and at all times. Peace means to remain calm and at ease, preserving the wondrous, luminous true mind, never losing this true mind, never being swayed by the complexities of the world, nor bewildered by its illusion. This wondrous, bright mind is your true mind. Whether walking, standing, sitting, or lying down, stay within wondrous, bright true heart, preserving the light of your self-nature and maintaining awareness. Integrate greed, ignorance, hatred, pain, and joy into the light of self-nature and awareness. Simultaneously use this awareness to dissolve discrimination, eliminating afflictions and habits gradually. I once spoke to a friend about how to do meditational practice in daily life. When one is very busy at work, it's easy to forget the meditational practice. I told him, when your mind is filled with distractions, simply maintain present awareness and apply your awakened mind to what you are doing. Specifically, use your eyes to observe these things, your ears to listen to it, your nose to sense its scent, your tongue to taste it, and even your body to feel it. When your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind are all focused on what you are doing, you are effectively holding on to your wondrous, bright mind. Applying your true heart to your current action is the highest meditational practice. So, again, applying your true heart to your current action is the highest meditational practice. So, applying your true heart. Applying your true heart to your current action is the highest meditational practice. At this point, you may even forget to visualize or remember your root teacher. Yet the bright and wondrous mind you maintain is, in essence, the root teacher. Thus, I often say, be awake and clear in the present. Follow circumstances with joy and freedom. Control the six senses and remain free of distraction. Doing things is like drawing in the air with a colored pen. Focus fully while drawing, then let go when done, for there is nothing to hold on to in the air. Some people clearly separate meditational practice from daily life. When practicing, their hearts are at peace, but once they start working or interacting with others, they begin to worry about whether they have been wronged or suffered a loss, leading to anger, jealousy, greed, and other emotions. This is forgetting the purpose of meditational practice. In walking, living, sitting, and lying down, remain in the true heart, stay calm, and integrate all experiences of greed, anger, ignorance, suffering, and happiness into awareness. This is not only a method of meditational practice, but also the purpose of meditational practice. This is liberation. The so-called liberation is the release from attachments, the removal of life's troubles and pains, and the attainment of absolute mental freedom. Therefore, always remember the purpose of meditational practice and remind yourself often. In every moment of life, regardless of duration, focus on what you are doing now. Stay present. Recognize your original heart. See its emptiness and hold on to wondrous, bright mind. Remember the cool, clear, empty, bright, and joyful wisdom and light, and never lose this awareness in an activity. Keep it while cooking, working, walking, and even sleeping. So remember, you cannot simply hold on that feeling while reciting the sutra or sitting in meditation, only to discard it afterward. You must maintain that awareness continuously, 24 hours a day, even if you occasionally forget. As soon as you remember, return quickly to that state of awareness, day by day, year by year. Let it become integral to your life as air itself. This is the essence of true meditational practice. Whether meditating, visualizing, or chanting the Buddha's name, always retain that feeling. Hold your true heart without distraction, without worry, experiencing only a joyful, peaceful, calm, and clear coolness. If you can keep this state in the present moment and then gain again in the next, extending it to countless moments or presents, you may be able to sustain it for a lifetime. For all of lifetime and space is composed of a continuous series of presents. Only when you can retain that clear awareness in each present moment can your meditational practice truly emerge into one seamless experience. Only such meditational practice can be considered successful meditational practice. At this stage, it is essential to find the suitable balance between relaxation and alertness. You should neither allow the mind to drift into disorder nor hold it too tightly. In other words, maintain a sense of relaxation and emptiness, staying clear of distracting thoughts while sustaining awareness and clarity, and keeping to your true mind. Many practitioners have a habit of suppressing their delusions during meditation, believing this to be a way of distancing themselves from the deluded mind. They try to capture their mind, never allowing it to relax. But in doing so, delusions remain in a state of suppression, like pressing a ball underwater. Though it may disappear temporarily, it will bounce back up as soon as pressure is released. Thus, you must neither indulge your mind nor hold it too tightly. This balance is like pulling a leather strap. If you pull it too tight, it will snap. If too loose, it will have no strength. You must apply just the right tension. So it is neither too loose nor too tight, neither breaking nor bending, whether visualizing or chanting Buddha's name, maintain this state of gentle moderation, relaxing appropriately. Often people set specific goals or idealized states for themselves before beginning a task. Holding on to a strong desire to achieve them, this persistence ultimately exhausts them, not because of the task itself, but because of the attachment and tension within their hearts. For instance, a writer once felt he was pouring his life into a novel, and in the end, he truly did. However, it was not the novel that consumed him, but the strain in his heart. If he had remained in a state of clarity and emptiness, approaching his writing with a broad mind and a joy for life, he could have found a deep sense of happiness and calm, rather than being overwhelmed by the tragic intensity he created.颜色是没关系，但是 let me check. Wait a second. So, that you must neither indulge your mind nor hold it too tightly. Often people set specific goals or idealized states for themselves before beginning a task, holding on to a strong desire to achieve them. This persistence ultimately exhausts them, not because of the task itself, but because of the attachment and tension within their hearts. For instance, a writer once felt he was pouring his life into a novel, and in the end, he truly did. However, it was not the novel that consumed him, but the strain in his heart. If he had remained in a state of clarity and emptiness, approaching his writing with a broad mind and a joy for life, he could have found a deep sense of happiness and calm, rather than being overwhelmed by the tragic intensity he created. Those who know how to work skillfully may accomplish much, yet they do so with a sense of enjoyment, and they are never crushed by the tension and pressure that might otherwise accompany their efforts. Nowadays, many people are like that writer, placing things such as money, status, power, and reputation above life itself, even willing to sacrifice their health for these pursuits.
Better than my time. Actually, I can send it just so you can hear it.
Okay. And nowadays, many people are like that, right? Placing things such as money, status, power, and reputation above life itself, even willing to sacrifice their health for these pursuits. This mentality leaves them breathless, ultimately drained both physically and mentally. If one day they find others discussing their pain with indifference, like describing feathers floating in the air, they may feel undervalued. Yet this perception is not correct. A truly wise person approaches life with ease. He remains calm and detached in everything he does. Even if he possesses the whole world, he does not feel pride. Even he performs a great deed, he does not feel grand. He is neither bound by what is in front of him, nor by any particular outcome. He enjoys his life, his work. And where did I read? The happiness of each moment and the full journey of life without concern for what he has accomplished, gained, or let go of. In truth, regardless of the mindset with which you approach tasks, you only offer a fraction of your focus and precious life energy. However, it is your mindset that determines whether the act of dedicating yourself feels painful or joyful. And in our meditational practice, we seek to be free from suffering, to live joyfully in this lifetime. Do not cling, but be diligent. I see so many old friends here talking in the chat section. Thank you for your time being here. I want to keep my reading complete. At least one paragraph. So, hello, thank you for your time. And if you are new here, please subscribe to our channel. I think there is very special energy in Xuemo's work. So when you read, and you may fade into some flow, and you feel the joyfulness. Okay, thank you for your enjoying of the Xuemo's. I mean, what to share next? Let me see which one to share. Okay. Okay, I will read it slowly. Let things flow their natural course and await awakening. Let's share this. Let things flow their natural course and await awakening. After passing through the darkness before dawn, you will begin to see a faint glimmer of light. And your meditational practice will enter a marvelous stage. If you observe, you will notice that the constant stream of thoughts suddenly halts, and a feeling unlike any you have experienced before arises in your heart. Your mind begins to settle into stillness, though occasionally this tranquility may slip away unexpectedly. Note that this fleeting tranquility is not yet true emptiness, nor is it the realization of your true mind. However, you can already sense a glimmer of happiness and peace. It is like a ray of light piercing through the night. With this light, you know that you are on the right path. As long as you continue walking this path, you will eventually be bathed in the full warmth of the sun. However, that sense, serene happiness often vanishes without a trace after a brief moment of brilliance, leaving you unsure of where to find it again. It is like Bodhidharma, who crossed the river on a reed and then disappeared. Is not this Bodhidharma who waded through the water on a reed your true heart? Repeatedly missing out on a clear and peaceful mind makes your heart feel like dark clouds and turbulent waters devoid of any light. The stormy clouds and restless waters surge endlessly, and the delusions seem impossible to quiet. If you seek to calm these delusions and stabilize the clarity and tranquility of your heart, you must find a true root teacher and cultivate pure, unwavering faith in their teachings, free from doubt. By doing so, you can let go of everything and transcend the constraints of various names and concepts. Only after breaking through the attachments to names and terms can you truly see your true heart, your clear and empty original mind. In this way, you will gain mastery over your mind and no longer be disturbed by the limitations of names and concepts. However, it is not easy to find a true root teacher. For you may not be able to discern who is a genuine and virtuous teacher. The journey to find such a guide requires both inner clarity and wisdom, as well as the grace of karmic connections. Many times people tend to favor those who are superficial individuals who wear monk's robes but are filled with greed and attachment. This phenomenon mirrors an economic principle. Bad money drives out good money. In economics, when fake money circulates with 50% gold content, while real money contains 100%. People hoard the real money and spend the fake, causing only the counterfeit to dominate the market. Similarly, most genuine practitioners stay out of the public eye, practicing quietly at home. This creates a void in the spiritual market, allowing opportunistic scammers to deceive people. This is why false teachers often gain popularity, and this pattern holds in every era. Even so, we must understand that ultimate wisdom transcends all names and terms. The purpose of reciting the Diamond Sutra is to help break through these labels and concepts. Do not fear that awakening will be beyond your reach. Awakening can occur even in the simplest tasks. Like sweeping the floor, there are thousands of ways to attain enlightenment, known as the 84,000 Dharma doors, and any one of them can lead to awakening. These Dharma doors exist to help calm the mind, for when the mind is calm, wisdom naturally arises. If the mind is restless, wisdom remains obscured. So, for example, Mazu. By the way, Mazu was a Chan master, one of the most prominent figures in Chinese Buddhism. So, Mazu once instructed her sister-in-law to tie an egg to a rope and quietly listen, asking her to inform him when the egg made a sound. Trusting her word completely, she listened intently every day. One day, the rope broke and the egg fell to the ground with a pop, and in that moment, she became enlightened. Mazu's sister-in-law had not practiced any formal Buddhist meditation, yet through her simple act of listening, she reached enlightenment. This shows that the key lies in the mind, in spiritual focus and presence. Don't worry whether clarity and tranquility you experience are fleeting or stable. Maintain a calm and normal mind and allow it to arise naturally. Avoid deliberately pursuing it or becoming anxious, as this will only hasten its disappearance and may even hinder your progress. In this natural state, you can do meditational practice throughout the day, gently savoring the experience of listening to the sutras. Gradually, your wandering mind will return to stillness. When this happens, you will feel as though you've just awoken from a long dream, aware that you have suffered, yet your heart will be at peace, filled with happiness and a deep sense of fulfillment. Is the peace, happiness, and fulfillment you feel at this stage genuine? Not quite yet. The reason you experience these emotions is that your meditational practice and deep yearning have permeated your soul. When you feel inseparable from your root teacher, the spiritual guide, who illuminates the lighthouse of your soul gains a sense of support. This connection creates a profound and transformative experience, turning a once lonely life into a blissful pure land. As a result, you feel an overwhelming sense of joy and happiness, as though you have found a deep inner refuge. At this stage, you have glimpsed the dawn of enlightenment, but the feeling remains unstable. When it fades, life may suddenly feel devoid of meaning, and you might experience a profound sense of confusion and emptiness. Like a lost soul without a home, the overwhelming emptiness can make it seem as if life cannot continue. In this state, it is common for individuals to feel a deep urge for renunciation. They grow weary of the loneliness and solitude of worldly life and desire to free themselves from all the trivialities. Dedicating themselves entirely to spiritual meditational practice. It is at this point that many choose to become monks or nuns. Those who cannot fully renounce worldly life yet remain deeply rooted in their spiritual path will carry their meditational practice with them in everything they do. They continue to hold their master, the Buddha's realm, and the welfare of sentient beings at the core of their hearts. This too is a form of attachment, but at this stage it is a necessary one. Without being firmly attached to meditational practice and the aim of benefiting sentient beings, the later stages of enlightenment may not be reached. When you replace all other concerns with a single-minded focus on meditational practice, you will begin to see that everything around you is like a fleeting dream. Nothing, whether good or bad, lasts forever. And everything will eventually pass, leaving no trace behind. This realization allows you to let go of the transient and focus on the eternal path of wisdom. For example, consider a car accident where a van fell from a 30-meter viaduct and exploded within half an hour. It was a real and terrifying event for those who were not involved or never heard about it. It might as well have never existed. Even for those who directly experienced it, over time it becomes a memory that will eventually fade and dissolve. Much like a dream, in this way, even the most intense experiences, whether real or imagined, are fleeting and impermanent. When you truly realize that the world is like a dream, confusion will dissolve. A profound truth will emerge. Everything, whether the sweetness of passionate love, the pain of broken heart, or even the entirety of our lives, will inevitably pass and sooner or later become no more than a dreamlike memory. Okay, it is the profound truth. Everything, whether the sweetness or of passionate love, the pain of a broken heart, or even the entirety of our lives, will inevitably pass and sooner or later become no more than a dreamlike memory. However, understanding this conceptually is not the same as embodying it in meditational practice. It is much like knowing that stock prices will rise and fall, yet still being affected by the fluctuations of the market. In the same way, we may intellectually grasp that life is impermanent, but its ups and downs still sway us. True wisdom arises when you recognize the illusory nature of all things, while still acknowledging their temporary existence in the phenomenal world. At this point, you begin to understand the deeper meaning of life. This wisdom becomes a guiding light, transforming your life significantly and freeing you from confusion and suffering over the fleeting events of the present. Okay, here I want to have a moment of silence. Okay. Awakening lies in resonance. Joy and pain are of the same nature, both being illusions, yet it is often through pain, such as the loss of loved ones, the fluctuations of business, or facing terminal illness, that people draw closer to the truth. Even so, I still wish to offer you my blessing. For regardless of the ticket you hold to the door of enlightenment, whether it is joy or sorrow, you are destined to encounter light, tranquility, equality and unconditional happiness. Why? Because a profound blow forces you to confront the impermanence of the world and life. You come to realize that the world and life are vast illusions, great deceptions with no inherent substance, and that nothing can last forever. Despite your desire to hold on to something and make it permanent, you find that it is impossible. When you accept this truth, a deep sense of calm emerges, and you naturally release your attachment to all things in life, having understood their fleeting nature and illusory essence. Can you catch the wind? No matter how hard you try, it will always slip through your fingers. The same is true for time. Some ancient kings, driven by their greed for life, resorted to extreme measures in an attempt to capture time, but in the end, they all met the same fate, death. Everything they amassed during their lifetime eventually became someone else's possession, and not even their most treasured burial objects could accompany them. What then was the meaning of all the past disputes and killings? Even the planet we inhabit and what we call the world is merely a speck of dust in the vast universe. Like everything else, it too will inevitably collapse and disappear into the infinite void. The world that appears so real is, in essence, a grand illusion. Everything is in constant flux, no different from a fleeting dream. The idea of eternity that we cling to in our minds does not exist. How absurd it would be to become attached to things within a dream. The same principle applies to all the feelings and experiences that arise during meditational practice. They are all illusions. If someone claims with great mystery that a Buddha spoke to them or that a Bodhisattva revealed something to them, know that this is not the ultimate truth. All manifestations are reflections of self-nature, which is beyond the mind and without form. All Buddhas are guides who help you understand the ultimate truth, discover your self-nature, and realize emptiness. If you believe that this Buddha is an eternal, unchanging, and separate real entity outside your mind, then you are mistaken and have veered into delusion. True Buddhist wisdom is rooted in the understanding that all things are impermanent and all dharmas are without self. This realization points to the nature of all experiences as fleeting and without inherent essence, guiding you toward the awakening of your self-nature and the realization of ultimate emptiness. Some people spend decades in meditational practice but never touch the true essence of the path. In the end, their hearts remain filled with greed. Take, for example, the Buddhist doctor who poisoned Milarepa. Despite studying many scriptures, he was unable to benefit from them truly. Why? Because he did not begin with wisdom and the purification of the mind. Instead, he focused on illusory and impermanent things, external appearances, mistakenly chasing after illusions as if they were eternal truth. As a result, he became increasingly entangled in delusion and ignorance. This is a secret gift of spiritual yoga. It guides you to release worldly concerns and turn inward. Beginning with the mind, through this meditational practice, the veil is lifted, revealing the essence of life and enlightenment. Allowing to find joy in the present moment. So the awakened mind itself is the fruit. All phenomena are reflections of self-nature, arising from and returning to the emptiness that is their source. Like dreams, these reflections are fleeting and should not blind you. For ultimately, all forms dissolve back into the void from which they arose. When you perceive this truth deeply, you experience true liberation. This is what is known as liberation through direct insight. Only when you disperse the clouds and mists that obscure your vision, when you pierce through the illusions of the world and release all worldly attachments, will the wondrous function of the true heart reveal itself. Only when you disperse the clouds and mists that obscure your vision, when you pierce through the illusions of the world and release all worldly attachment, will the wondrous function of the true heart reveal itself. This is the awakening of the profound essence within. At this moment, one must turn to life as a meditational practice, using the experiences and encounters of daily existence to refine the heart. You may use life's challenge to question your heart, seeking answers, yet it often remains silent. This silence compels you to search for the essence of the heart, only to discover its elusiveness. When you attempt to grasp the true self, you realize that this I you seek does not truly exist. The I is merely a construct within the heart, an assembly of knowledge, experiences, and standards, all of which are illusory and transient. It is but a mirage, devoid of permanence. At this stage, you begin to embody the principles you have come to understand in your daily life. You put sincere effort into your actions, and a transformation occurs within you. You become more compassionate and kinder to those around you. You show deeper respect for your parents, stop arguing with your partner, and let go of petty concerns in your work. As these changes manifest in your life, the truth you have previously grasped begin to take root and flourish. Guiding your path, gradually you will find yourself moving through life with ease and without obstruction. In this way, your pursuit of enlightenment and understanding is no longer separate from your daily life. But it's reflected naturally in everything you do. Faith illuminates you like the soft glow of the moon resting in your heart. Every particle of dust in the air becomes a teacher, silently guiding you through life's unfolding moments. Your heart fills with a quiet, serene joy. Gradually, you expand into a state as vast as the universe itself. Touching the profound. Spaciousness, akin to the sky-gazing meditation. Akin to the sky-gazing meditation of Dzogchen. Dzogchen. Sky-gazing meditation is a unique aspect of Dzogchen. A tradition of Indo-Tibetan Tibetan Buddhism that aims to help practitioners discover their true nature. The sky no longer feels distant, only a few feet ahead. Instead, your vision widens endlessly. In this boundless expanse, you finally align with the inner lighthouse of your soul, your root teacher, ever present, guiding you home. Among all the paths of meditational practice, the most sacred and profound is aligning yourself with your root teacher. The key to achieving this correspondence is faith. In essence, faith is a reflection of one's inner capacity. Only those with deep inherent potential possess great faith. True obstacles or karma are what prevent faith from blossoming. I once used a metaphor to describe this. Imagine someone's heart is filled with their own 5 poisonous substances, which they mistakenly believe to be the ultimate nectar. The root teacher, in their wisdom, urges them to pour it out, but they cling to it, unwilling to let go. This resistance makes it difficult for the teacher's wisdom and compassion to enter their heart. Even if a small drop of the teacher's grace is added, it quickly becomes tainted by the lingering poison. Thus, the heart remains closed, unable to receive the purity being offered. The 5 poisonous substances represent the knowledge, experiences, prejudices, and standards that each person accumulates over the years. These elements, though seemingly valuable, can become obstacles on the spiritual path. If you cling to these accumulated judgments and beliefs, you will inevitably use them as a lens through which to measure and evaluate everything your root teacher imparts. This attachment clouds your perception, weakening your faith and distorting the wisdom your teacher offers. Only by letting go of these ingrained notions can you open yourself fully to the teacher's guidance, allowing true understanding and confidence to flourish. Only when you possess pure faith in your root guru, empty the cup of your soul from the poison you hold, and cleanse your soul with the wisdom of the root guru, be able to enter. Only then will there be true spiritual harmony. Thus, I often say, be awake and clear in the present. Pleasure and patience, the transcendence of wisdom. Although the clarity in mind may ebb and flow, each glimpse will greatly strengthen your confidence. With continued meditational practice, you will enter a state of profound well-being known as joy. In this state, you will perceive that while all things may appear different, their essence is the same. Rain and snow, though distinct in form, are not essentially different. Only by relinquishing all calculations of gain and loss, ceasing delusions, and smiling at the burdens of the world without attachment, will the discriminating mind gradually dissolve. At this time, even though you may feel like a hungry lion, eager for early enlightenment, and liberation. You must not allow impatience to arise. Instead, you must gently fold the wings of your heart, still all delusions, and calm your mind. Practice meditation diligently and under the illumination of the light of wisdom. Deeply experience sincerity and allow the influence of wisdom to permeate your being. Gradually, you find yourself enveloped in an indescribable happiness and joy. You feel a deep sense of contentment in your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Life itself transforms into a beautiful experience. The trees, grass, wild flowers, and even a single drop of water become like enchanting paintings. Radiant in soft, beautiful light, everything around you fills your heart with joy. Hello, if you're here, please let me know where you're from, and you can leave your message here if you have something to talk about. At this point, not only do you feel deep joy, but you also attain a degree of inner concentration. Praise or no longer makes you proud, and criticism does not bring you sadness, frustration, or reluctance. The eight worldly wings, fame, wealth, pleasure, and more cease to sway your heart because you no longer hold an attachment to them. Having truly tasted the bliss of spiritual meditational practice, you are free from craving or clinging to anything in the six realms of samsara, even love. Upon reaching this state, neither heaven nor demons can cause fear, nor can desires stir greed with you. You become uninterested in the distractions of the external world. When I wrote Death Rites, I had reached this stage. I spent my days in seclusion, practicing with joy, writing with joy, and thinking of nothing else. You may find yourself longing for this happiness, desiring the clarity and joy of the mind, and yearning for the subtle rhythm of Zen's inner music. In these moments, if you listen closely, you may even hear the faint drum beats echoing before the door to enlightenment begins to open. Indeed, you are on the verge of seeing your true nature. A storybook. You can start from the selected stories by Xuemo. There are four stories about Western China, and the first one is Old Man Xinjiang, the second one is Beauty, and third one is crunching broad beans at the dead of night, and the fourth one is the women, the camels, and the dogs. Oh, why it seems? Oh, this seems. So selected stories by Xuemo is a good beginning to know Mr. Xuemo. And let me finish this chapter, and it's by the end of my live session. After joy arises, the warmth of Dharma will gradually emerge, and you will receive a warmth sign. With this sign, your distracting thoughts will diminish, and your virtuous roots will grow even ever stronger. You will be filled with a wholehearted desire to benefit sentient beings and help others, finding great happiness in doing so. At this point, the tree of wisdom begins to flourish, growing stronger with each act of compassion and service. Hi, welcome. If you're new here, please subscribe to our channel. We are mainly about the spiritual wisdom and human warmth found in the works by the Chinese writer Mr. Xuemo. And Xuemo is a contemporary Chinese writer. He has written over 80 titles with 200 editions and have been translated into 28 languages. And at this stage, the fire of the sacred path begins to appear. Though it has not yet fully arrived, it is not far from you. This fire is the fire of wisdom. Gradually, you start to feel its warmth, and this beat burns away all your doubts. If you continue to meditative practice with dedication, the light of wisdom will soon shine brightly, and it will become easier to see your true nature clearly. Wendy? 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 Oh. I'm wondering if anyone has the same feeling when doing the live stream here.
What do you mean the same feeling?
Because the happiness just arrives to them.
Then just stick on it. You don't come out.
Oh no, my throat. Once your doubts are burned away, your mind becomes pure and you find deep joy in meditation. At this point, you are content to practice meditation in seclusion all day, filled with happiness. In the past, teachings such as dependent origination and emptiness and suffering, accumulation, extinction, and path seemed very profound and elusive. You only had a vague understanding of their meaning, but now you can grasp them almost fully in theory, and you begin to experience the first glimpses of enlightenment. It is like a person who has been blind since birth, who has never known the sun. No matter how others describe it, the sun in his mind is only a glowing ball from their words. He can't even imagine what green grass looked like, but the moment he gains sight, he sees the light. He instantly understands both the sun and the green grass, as though the truth had always been there, waiting for him to perceive it. I once believed that the wheel of the fate drove people and that suffering was something unavoidable, but now I realize that this suffering itself is just like everything else, illusory, impermanent, and arising from causes and conditions. It is like a house built of reinforced concrete, beautifully decorated, yet vulnerable to destruction by an earthquake or demolition by the government. Sooner or later, it will vanish without a trace, just as all the stories that took place within it will be forgotten by history. In essence, I am no different from this house. Everything in the world has a beginning and an end, and is impermanent and illusory. Fame, wealth, and appearances are not eternal. This understanding is what it means to realize that I am empty and the Dharma is empty. Here the Dharma represents all things, all phenomena. When you grasp this, you experience the truth of no self in both people and phenomena, leading to a wisdom that transcends. In this way, you come to see that the so-called suffering and the suffering self are mere illusions. Born of the mind, you feel fortunate to have escaped the worldly suffering, no longer obsessed or troubled by the trivial and transient. However, at this stage, you have only begun to dissolve the self in theory. In principle, you have not yet fully realized the selflessness in your lived experience. In the material world, there is still more meditational practice ahead on the path. When you are no longer attached to external appearances, whether to the subject, the object, or the insult itself, you will naturally develop patience. This means you are not clinging to the outward manifestation of the act of insult, the concept involved, or your interpretation of it. None of these can disturb your inner peace or concentration. When your meditational practice of patience reaches this point, it becomes complete. Then your meditational practice will advance to the next stage. You will enter the supreme Dharma of the world, a profound level of spiritual attainment. Okay, today we are sharing the book, Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart. Thank you for your time. Bye.